Film Club.
Fuck.
Thank you for joining us for one more round and a very special episode
really quick.
of Film Club.
Hi.
To my right is Andy. I was about to call you Andy Harrison.
Andy Donaldson with Struggling My Beer here.
To my right is this struggling Andy Donaldson, and I'm one of your hosts, Andy Harrison. We're actually going to start today with it's quite an odd one for us because
That's nice beer.
we haven't done any...
Current films. I think it's just the way I did it. Sorry, he's just gone. So yeah, today we're doing we're doing a straight off the film. We both saw Rogue One. You saw it on Thursday, I saw it on Friday, yesterday, last night at the IMAX. Oh my God, what an experience. And excuse me. And we had free nachos. And we went for the VIP package where you're at the gallery, the comfy seats at the back.
Nice.
Funny story, which some guys trying to take our seats off was like 5 minutes before that Rogue One, Rogue One was about to start. And they were saying, it's nice, isn't it?
Very good, actually.
Cheers, boss. Yeah,
Cheers.
good shout. Shout out to Harbour Brewing Company, nice one.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. And they tried to take our seats, like saying, "Oh, we're booking these seats anyway." We all went to the woman at the counter, and I was like, "Shit!" And she turns out, she says, "Oh, you got the wrong day." And I'm thinking, "No, it's our mate here who's got the tickets." I'm like, "Shit!"
Oh.
Turns out you the guys, you did it for the tomorrow night at the same times. Honestly, I was so relieved. It was cringy, exceptionally cringy for that guy, because that guy he just admitted defeat, walked off straight away, and it was like, we felt so sorry for the guy because he was sound about it.
So did he leave the theatre?
No, he went to the. Oh man, that's it. That's the worst part. IMAX, huge screen, and he's right at the front where the only seats. I know. So he had the VIP experience.
That is the film.
I know. But anyway, we had a great time. So we're doing Rogue One.
We're here
Gareth
for a
Edwards.
very special episode. We haven't done a modern, brand new out of cinemas film before, so we're starting with Rogue One. Since we did episode 8 a couple of weeks ago, we're going to do Rogue One.
Right. So straight into it. What the fuck did you think about this film?
Oh my God, that's such a huge question. Because
It's a bit hard because we're just. I'm still in euphoric mode, sort of thing.
I've got such a weird, a weird blend of thoughts in this film because, on the one hand, it's, in some respects, right, it's some of the best Star Wars stuff ever made.
Okay.
And then in other regards, it struggles as a film as a whole.
Oh really? I'm surprised to say that because I know you really have a thing for Gareth Edwards.
Well, do you remember what I said about Gareth Edwards before this? I was like, this for me is...
okay, yeah.
This was meant to be the test. This was like, Gareth Edwards made absolutely awesome film in Monsters.
Yeah.
He then made a pretty terrible one or half terrible one
that would have been
in
the
Godzilla.
producers.
So again, the question at that point was, is Gareth Edwards this amazing indie director who really struggles with big budget films?
Yeah.
He can't handle the studio pressure. Was that like the director he was going to be? So I was thinking, going into Rogue One, time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Time to figure out where Gareth Edwards is in the directorial leagues.
Okay.
And it's this weird mix of a film again. Where so the mix of a film, right?
So we're just going about as a film, not
Yeah.
as Star Wars fans, but as a film.
Yeah, we'll keep it spoiler free for a little bit and then we'll go into some spoilers.
Cool.
The first 2/3 of this film
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
really, really struggle.
The first part's a little bit slow, isn't it?
It's so slow, and normally I like slow films. I am a sort of person who likes really casual, slow-paced films.
But in this kind of particular story, you don't want slowness, do you?
Yeah, and then it's introducing character after character. We don't understand anything about them. There's lots of stuff which goes unexplained. They expect you to care about certain things, and you really don't.
Okay.
But then, the last third of this film.
It was fucking brilliant.
Oh my God.
That's one of the best Star Wars experiences I've ever had.
I think I actually said this when we, in the upcoming Die Hard episode. Because we're filming some of this a little bit out of order, because we've just come off a Rogue scene where I wanted to. So in the Die Hard episode, I think I say something about action really isn't my thing. As soon as action comes on screen, I dial out and I want to see the character stuff instead. But this is amazing action.
Yeah.
This is action where everything, it's not like flashy cameras, people running everywhere, random blasts are going on. This is really, really thought out action. This is everyone has a motivation. You understand where the characters are in the scene. You understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's got some stuff, again, we'll move into spoilers later on, so we won't touch any of it now. But it's got some great payoffs at the end.
It was one of the most enjoyable experiences post-film I've ever had. You know, when the credits come up. Like, I literally went open mouth to the guys I was with. I was just like, I'm so glad that happened.
Yeah.
I was so glad that I just experienced that. That last bit was, well, like we were saying before, it was a bit slow at the start. That last bit made up for it easily, without a doubt. I'd happily have that first bit to experience that last bit.
I agree. And actually, I kind of wonder if this film is going to be better on the second viewing. Because by the end, you do care about the majority of the characters.
Yeah.
And like you do like them more by the end. So maybe going back and having all those moments where you didn't care about them before might actually be better.
I'm going again on Monday with Dad and Ben.
Oh, yeah.
D-Box as well. So that last bit with all the action, D-Box.
I hate D-Box.
I've never been. It's my first experience.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. It might not be for everything, but Ben said if there's anything to do it for, we were going to watch it for Independence Day.
Right.
Because you know when you're in the seat and you go like that, like as if you're a pilot. Yeah. With Star Wars, it's going to have Star Wars sounds.
Yep.
But during, not necessarily towards the start of that film, but especially towards the last bit, I found myself playing Battlefront. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff which is like,
True Star Wars
shot,
sound.
not quite first person, it's shot very shaky cam, like documentarian, almost news gatherer style.
Okay, I'm still in kind of like, everything's like, wow. So I can't really like focus on the camera angles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, this is like far and away, I'd say, the best shot Star Wars film.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, it's so beautifully shot. It's lit amazing. It's shot by
Do you
a
know
guy
who the
called
director of photography was?
Greg
Go on, Greg.
something.
Go on, Greg something.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I can't remember his surname.
It was brilliant.
He's the guy who shot Foxcatcher.
Oh, I still need to watch that. You said it was really good.
Yeah,
was
so
thrilling.
again, beautifully shot.
Yeah,
But like,
I've heard
it's
that.
him, and obviously the one thing Gareth Edwards does have really like come through very, very strong is it's the way he shoots. He shoots with a very grounded, low key view on scale. And my God, does he do scale?
I know, right?
So well.
Oh my God. Well, everyone knows that the Death Star's in this film because it's Rogue One. But my God, that scale view.
We can move into spoilers if you want.
Yeah, fuck it.
Dude, give him a very quick spoiler-free roundup. Go watch it. It's totally worth watching. It's got problems, but oh my God,
this will be one of your best Star Wars experiences.
When it's good, it's great.
Yeah, it's brilliantly great. Like, I dare say when I finished, I texted you and I sent to the guys as well. I dare say, it's a completely different film in some respect, but it's a lot better than The Force Awakens. And it's a bit of a statement because I loved The Force Awakens. It was fantastic. And yes, it is more character-driven kind of film, The Force Awakens, but I might just still be in a state of euphoria.
Yeah.
So when I see it again, I might have to look back in a year's time on that statement. But coming out there and then, like I said, I haven't had a film hit me that well. Like after Star Wars, I was buzzing, but also after Force Awakens, I was buzzing. But this, I was like beyond buzzing. I was just like in awe because of that ending. That ending there.
I know what you mean, because as a whole, personally, I prefer Force Awakens.
Okay.
As a whole, like, definitely. But does The Force Awakens have the highs that this has? And the only thing that comes to mind is, spoilers for The Force Awakens, the fight between Rey and Kylo Ren.
Okay.
I know we didn't mention it actually during our Force Awakens review, but that's like one of my favourite lightsaber battles that we've had. That's a really great high, but I know what you mean. I absolutely know what you mean. So let's move on into spoilers.
Right. So we're going back to what we mentioned about scale. There's one scene where you've got you've got the Death Star's kind of what's it called when conclaved cone? You know, like that in the can there. What does that mean when the can's going in like that?
Concave.
Concave, yeah. It's the concave of the Death Star where it fires from. It's been inserted into the Death Star.
Yeah, it's like the finishing touch sort of thing on it.
And then there's a Star Destroyer. I've always seen scale of the Death Star and Star Destroyers in these kind of like what they call these kind of diagram books of Star Wars, the ships and stuff. And you all see something to scale. You never truly understand it, like you were saying about Gareth Edwards, until that scene. And you see this tiny little Star Destroyer there.
Yes, yeah.
And I was just like, Oh,
And like the shot that I think was in a trailer where
man.
the Star Destroyer is coming out of the shadow of the Death Star.
Yes, and that was used. That was a brilliant use of shadow. Like you see the Star Destroyer coming out the shadow, and then suddenly behind it, what you thought was all black is the Death Star.
Enormous Death Star.
Unbelievable. Like, oh my God, unbelievable.
And there's all the stuff with like where they're on the ground in like that tropical beach area, and like there's the AT-ATs that are like stomping through, and like suddenly AT-ATs again seem huge.
They're like, oh, looking up. Oh man, and there was 3 of them, and there was, I don't know where to start in regards to this film. Can I tell you? Actually, no, we're on about like scale and stuff like that, so we'll still keep on the technicalities, and we'll probably move on to characters and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to characters in a bit.
But well, kind of story and stuff. Oh shit, I don't even know, but I really don't know. Like, sounds amazing. It wasn't John Williams doing it. It was a different composer, and I can't remember. It's the guy who did. I can't remember.
But at the times where they take John Williams stuff and they just they alter it slightly.
The Imperial March, the main theme towards the end, the Imperial March. Obviously, when you first see Vader on Mustafar, which I thought was a nice. Sorry.
Mustafa.
This is a great way. I'm still so like, this is, why do we do this review now? I'm still in, anyway. The Rogue One ties in pretty much all of the Star Wars franchise together. The prequels, the original trilogy, obviously the Force Awakens is coming on Star Wars Rebels, there's so many references to it, which is a miniseries that Disney did. And it's supposed to be really good. The Clone Wars. And there was...
let's address the big like elephant in the room on that one. Let's jump right to the end. And the fact that this film ties... I wasn't expecting this.
No,
this film ties directly into the beginning of A New Hope.
Like you see the blockade runner leaving the rebel ship to go off. With Leo on it. It's got the Death Star plans. It's fucking mad.
So that build-up was... see, this is why I came out on a similar sort of high, I think, to you, maybe why you did as well, because that whole end section is like, you feel them, like, there's only a few of them on the planet, and like, they've got all these different like parts of the plan they have to do. Someone has to like plug something in. Someone has to like go pull a lever so they can like open up the what are they calling it?
The radar thing?
Yeah, they're pointing the radar up and they're opening up the gate or whatever it is.
The shield.
The shield, thank you. They're opening the shield and then they're transmitting the plans and like...
Now the rebel ship then he gets attacked by Darth Vader's Star Destroyer.
Well, yeah, and they're holding off all the stormtroopers flooding in. They're taking the one line of defense down and he shuts like them into the vault and they're climbing up the vault and one of them gets shot and like she gets to the top.
She's about to get shot.
And she sends the plans and then like they finally get it open and everyone else on the ground is dead. They get the plans and still they're like printing them off onto like a hard drive. They're transferring them onto this like little hard drive. And he's running down a corridor. Darth Vader's coming in. They're trapped in this corridor. They can only like just squeeze the plans. Like it just feels, the whole thing feels like they've just got this outstretched hand and like they're just able to get the plans out of the reach of the huge, imposing empire. And they're just able to stretch far enough and sacrifice enough lives to get this one piece of information out.
Because it's worth more than everything.
Which leads into A New Hope.
And then it goes, and then just as it goes through one corridor, one of the rebel officers runs into another corridor that's all white. Reminiscent of A New Hope. Yep. The blockade runner, white walls.
Yep.
Hands it around, well, actually, no, he runs across these corridors, hands it to someone. She's in a white sheet cowl, turns around, it's Princess Leia. Fucking insane. And when you were saying it all that there, we'll come on to the bloody... Because, oh my God. Anyway, what we were saying earlier is when Jin is at the council meeting, she says that there will be obstacles, we'll overcome them, but we know the obstacle will come over them. It's exactly what happens. And it's literally at the point of so many people give up their lives to do it. Yeah. So,
Can we go back a little bit and just quickly address Leia at the end?
Go on.
Because I don't think Leia at the end works.
Do you not?
I love that they tried to tie it into the beginning of A New Hope. What doesn't work about her is the really bad CG face.
Okay, I can see that there. But then you've got the other part of the CG, which is Grand Moff Tarkin, which I think does work. And a lot of people have said stuff about how it does this, it doesn't sync up properly, but to bring him back, it was amazing. But
Do you know what, right? I have something I have to admit. I went through the entire film and didn't even realise
fuck off.
that he was a CG character.
Well, that's good. That's good.
It is, but I also because clearly coming out of this, when I said when it became apparent that I hadn't realised this clearly CG person was CG, which again, I'm normally I'm normally on top of that shit. If something's CG, I'm I immediately know. So as soon as this became apparent, Natalie was on top of me, just taking the piss.
Oh yeah.
Straight away, she's I can't believe you didn't realise he was an entirely CG character.
Oh man. So Leia might not work, and I think it was
really bad.
Of the three done, it was the worst. Bail Organa was good.
She had a great point. She now had decided to stay on Leia for a second. She had a great point, right? Why not do that entire scene, hand off the plans to her from behind, and then cut to a shot further away
R2D2
of where she's putting the plans into R2D2.
Oh, that's
where she's doing the message, and then you don't have to have the awkward CG face. I think that would be so much better.
Well, it leaves you in a state of euphoria. In regards to fans, it leaves you in a state of just absolute buzzing. On a side note, get the fuck in. The Borough of Scard. Going back to what we're on about. Go on, Negredo. Going back to what we're on about.
Go on, Greedo.
Negredo.
Greedo.
Cool. That's not too bad. I'll take that.
That's a pretty good one.
Cool. I'll take it back. So despite the CG, despite this and the other, it still leaves you buzzing because it comes to the end, and then it's when Leia leaves and Rocket run out and it buggers off. So what I'd like to do is go on about the characters, because you said at the start he introduced character after character after character. You don't love them from the start, but my God, you start loving them throughout the film.
Yeah.
The comic relief was brilliant.
K2.
I love him.
He's so good.
I love K2. It's
Alan Tudyk.
It is.
Yeah.
Who, for those who don't know, it's Firefly. Also Steve the Pirate. Steve the Pirate. Dodgeball.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you meant in this film.
No, sorry.
No, I always think of him as Wash. In my head, Alan Tudyk is Wash. And, he's a leaf on the wind.
He's a leaf on the wind. Someone said that, leaf on the wind.
He was a leaf on the wind again here.
My God, was he good. The raw word,
his death hits the hardest.
I know.
It hits the hardest.
I know.
Because if I remember right, he's also the first to die.
Yeah. You've got, I didn't have the pilot down here, sorry. You've got Cassian, who's probably my least favourite out of them all.
Yeah, I agree.
But then, that ties into something later on, is the fact he's probably a rebel. And he's seen a bit of a grey kind of guy.
Well, that's what's really loved seeing in this film.
The rebels was great.
The rebels are in this grey area. Rebels aren't
it's normally
the good
versus
guys.
Bad. Rebels are dicks.
Rebels doing some really shit stuff.
Rebels kill Jin's dad.
And that goes into what I think the biggest strength of this film is. As a Star Wars film, this is the first time they've shown us actual Star Wars. This feels like a war going on.
Yeah.
Star Wars has never felt like an actual war going on before. This felt like a real war.
It was fucking brilliantly done. Honestly, it's a huge war. Like Andy said at the end, where you've got this scene where one to the other. You've got one part where it's a space battle at the top, very, 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 very reminiscent of Return of the Jedi at the end.
Yeah. Where there's a space fight going on.
Red One.
Then there's people on the planet.
Yeah, and then it goes to the people on the planet. You've got Jin and Cassian in the building and all this. Everyone's got their own kind of role to do, and they're just reaching it.
Say how cool of an idea the Hammerhead was.
Oh my God. The Hammerhead was a ship from Rebels? Anyway.
I've never seen it anywhere before.
It's like a blockhead runner, but it's got
really cool to see it just smashing the Star Destroyer and smashing into another one.
And the Star Destroyer goes to another Star Destroyer. Because, this is what I mean. This is why it's Battlefront. You saw the Y-Wings disabled a Star Destroyer, which is like AT Assault, Walker Assault. You see the Y-Wings use the iron torpedoes. I'm like, fucking get in. And then you see it smash the Star Destroyer because it can't move into the other one. It destroys a shield, like a wow moment. You see, there's those cool other wings that they introduced a new ship where it's a guy and a thing. That was Warwick Davies, by the way. Did Natalie like him?
I don't think she knew it was. I didn't know it was Warwick Davies.
I just found out the way. I was looking at some stuff this morning.
The little guy with the monkey kind of guy, the big mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was quite cool actually. He's only 2 shots.
Go on, Warwick Davies. He's one on the gun, and he guns on that new kind of ship that they have. And I thought it was a really cool ship. You have the X-Wings, obviously, but the X-Wings are portrayed a bit more like kind of a grey area because they're done by the Rebels. When they come in, it's more like a oh no moment as opposed to like the Force Awakens, where they come in, it's like oh yes, because when they're coming in, when they're just after they meet Maz and the Force Awakens, it's like get in. Yeah. Whereas this, the X-Wings are seen as portrayed initially when they're fighting when they kill Jin's dad as a oh shit moment, aren't they? Because they're a bit dickish.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we go back to the characters then.
Oh yeah. By all means. The other thing is they had. Just on the vehicles, I'm sorry, everything. Oh, but the AT-ATs looked amazing. They had an AT-ST back in the ruins, and they had a Juggernaut from Episode 3, which is, the thing on the wheels that Jin's originally in, the prison kind of vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
It's from Episode 3, again, Italian. But yeah, characters. Like, we went on about Alan briefly there, Alan Tudyk on K2SO. Like, insane. But another shout out, especially comic relief, is Donnie Yen as Chirrut Imwe.
Is this the blind guy?
Yes.
So good. Like of the entire main cast you have, there's Daisy, not Daisy Ridley.
It's
Felicity Jones's character, Jin. The blind guy whose name I can't remember.
You've got Jian Wen, who's apparently a director, who plays Baze Malbus. He's the heavy repeater guy.
Right.
Heavy blaster.
There's three characters who stand out.
Oh, sorry,
It's just Jin, K2, and the blind fella. And by the end, you'd love those three, and that's enough for you to care about the team as a whole.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about actually the fellow who is the blind Jedi or
he's not a Jedi, he's just
worshipper.
Yeah. Is when he walks out.
He gives you the additional attachment to the other fella with the huge gun.
Yes, he does, and he goes, "I don't need luck, I've got you."
Yeah.
That was a brilliant line.
In fact, like they've got this close relationship going on, makes you care a little bit about him.
And you know what I love about it as well? One has a stick, and one employs just no guns hardly at all. I mean, he's got that longbow as well, and the other has this stupidly heavy blaster, and it's like juxtaposition.
Like as soon as you meet them, he takes a piss out of him for being like a Force worshipper.
Yeah.
And then by the end, that makes that payoff right at the end.
Oh god, that was so good as well.
When he's holding his dead body, and he just says his line back to him.
I am one with the Force is with me. I am one with the Force is with me.
Yep.
Wow. And just going back to what I was saying just briefly then, is when he walks out. He walks out through the blasters, and there's those shock troopers, in the black, again, Battlefront, or just in general Star Wars, but Battlefront moment for me. And he's walking out. I need to buy the DLC now. Go on EA, that's really well marketed, or just Star Wars. Anyway.
Fuck you, EA.
And he walks, I know, yeah, fuck you, EA as well, but also brilliantly marketed because he makes me want to buy it. So he walks out, all the blasters missing him, and he gets to the desk and he just does it. And on a more comic relief moment, he realises he's blind. He's like, oh shit, where's this lever?
Yeah.
But my God, that was good. And it was really nice seeing that kind of Jedi moment who's an honor Jedi who doesn't use the lightsaber.
I think that's the strongest thing about this film is that because these are all new characters, we know the outcome, but we don't know exactly what happens.
Yeah, it's how they do it. It's how they do it.
There was genuine stakes throughout this whole thing. Like, we knew from the get-go, any one of these guys could die and all of them could die. When you watch Force Awakens, you know that Rey and Finn, both of those, both of those can't die. Yeah. At least one of them is going to live.
Yeah.
And you know the majority of the cast is going to live.
And yet, you see, it was nice. It was a moment like Obi-Wan when he dies, but he comes home with the Force. But when he dies, eventually, Chirrut Imwe, Donnie Yen, the blind monk, when he finally does die, I feel like it's a bit like a Qui-Gon Jinn death scene. Say what you want about Phantom Menace, I always have a soft spot for that film because of how young I was and how nostalgic it was. And when Qui-Gon Jinn died, I was always like, fuck, that's a first kind of Jedi to die in a way that's a more brutish manner. And in the blind monk gets shot, doesn't he, in the end, I think. And it was it was quite saddening.
Yeah, and to have his friend kind of...
No!
I've heard actually people have been saying they might be the first gay couple in Star Wars.
Oh, is that what they are?
I don't know.
Well, either way...
It's never stated in the film, is it? I thought they were friends as well, but but anyway, his friend there comes over and just there's still fire going on around him, still explosions going on around him, but he kind of doesn't care at that point. He's given up. He cares too much about the fact his friend is just died.
He was Jian Wing. He was another moment that just got in relationships. I really enjoyed. It would have spoiled the film, not spoil, and a major problem with the film if they would have kissed. And they didn't.
Yes, at the end, I was
so
thinking
glad
the hug was fine, and you could tell they were trying to do something with him towards the end.
But they were it was paid off well. It was just holding hands together, just as friends, as cold death sort of thing. It was nice,
and they hugged, don't they? I think.
Like, yeah, but I think it's more instead of a no, it's
Yeah.
a hoax, but it's not like a romantic sort of thing. There's no in your face romance. It's bloody hell, stop it, phone. It was really nice.
Yeah, because like Felicity Jones's character is way stronger without having to have a love interest throughout the film.
Yeah, she's brilliant, by the way. Do we move on to Felicity Jones?
Go on.
I love Felicity Jones. I really do. I really liked her. I've heard a lot of reviews say that she was one of the few people that let the film down. And
No.
thank God.
No way.
Thank God. Because I couldn't see it at all. And I was like, really? Really? Really?
No, she is totally like...
Just making sure it's... No, I'm just making sure. I had a panic moment where I didn't record then.
I would have killed him. She's a strong female character.
She is.
Who doesn't need like a love interest with her. She has this slightly harrowing backstory which makes her cold reasonably.
Oh,
but yet she still knows when to stand up and be a leader. She's got a great like... I don't like the way this word has been used recently, but she's got a great swagger to her.
She does. She really does.
She carries the weight of this film. And so, no, whoever said that,
God,
you can go, fuck yourself.
You. Yeah. No, it was really nice.
I love that, by the way, it's becoming like a thing on Film Cub that whenever we hit the point of being like, oh, someone else has his opinion, doesn't judge ours, we're like, fuck you.
Yeah, to be honest, not that our opinion means anymore, but at the same time, it does. Fuck you.
Our opinion means probably the least on the internet.
Just yours.
Just mine. His is great.
It took me a while to think of that. No, it was really nice seeing Felicity Jones in a more like kind of resting bitch face role and not like, you know, like Crazy. You've got a theory of everything.
Oh, of course we did Like Crazy a few weeks ago, didn't we? If you haven't seen it, go watch Like Crazy. Felicity Jones in that is the perfect example of like, she's not so much just the love interest. She's a character in her own right in that film.
Yeah.
But she is like, the story's about her being with a man.
Yeah.
And she's very in love with this person. It's about how she feels about him.
Similar to a theory of everything as well.
This is completely the opposite. This is Felicity Jones.
This
is Felicity Jones having had a really shit life, going into a war zone and knowing she's probably not going to come out alive.
Well, it's nice seeing her, because I don't understand how a normal accent would come from. I think she was originally from Birmingham, if I recall. This is how much I like her.
Birmingham?
Well, not like that, but she has quite a posh accent, evident in Like Crazy and a Theory of Everything. In this, she seemed to have like a bit of an English accent. Like you could see there was a couple of posh parts, but I
think she was she trying to do American? It sounded like she was trying to do American.
No, this is one thing. I think South African. Because that's got a twinge of American and a twinge of Australian and a twinge of South African. And I actually dare say it was a cross between English and South African.
There's a lot of English accents in this film.
It's a very British film.
Good.
Gareth Edwards is a British director.
Thank you, Gareth Edwards. That was so good. You just took the Star Wars film like British people everywhere.
No, it was really well done. Well, just Felicity Jones in general. I thought, I'm just reverting back to my little bullet points, and there's nothing really there apart from she's class. So I'm really glad that you agree with me on that because I couldn't find anything wrong with her in particular. On a side note,
before you move on from Felicity Jones, I want to say probably like her more than Rey.
Oh, I don't know.
I think I prefer Felicity Jones's Jin to Rey.
All right, can we take away Felicity Jones that did Rey, Jin? As a character, like, this is really hard because I really like Rey as a character and Daisy Ridley's lovely as well, but I really like Rey as a character.
What I like about Jin more than Rey, Jin isn't a Mary Sue. She's not great at everything. She's not like someone like.
I think that's too hard a question.
I really like.
I can't answer it.
Daisy Ridley's Rey, but I just think it was weird. It was weird having this spin-off, knowing she's not going to do any more films because she dead. Knowing that and liking her more than the one who's going to be having more films.
It's too early to say for me now. Sorry, I like you both. So yeah, good shout. Kinda. Going back on to one of the biggest. Well, actually, no, the director was brilliant. Who was? Oh, Mads Mikkelsen, wasn't he? He was Galen Erso, who was Jin Erso's father. Yeah. And there was Ben Mendelsohn was the director. He was quite menacing.
Who? Sorry,
the director guy. So he was Grand Moff's kind of.
Oh, I thought you meant the film's director.
Sorry, no, he's called director. Someone I can't.
The guy in white. Yeah.
Yeah, it was him, and I thought he was really good. He's also acted like a spoiled child as well, really, a lot of the time. But I think that was the characters.
Is this the return of The Force Awakens, petulant child.
Who was the petulant child in that one?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yeah. No, massively, yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because he did act like out loud. He was like this, that, and the other. And then you have Forrest Whitaker, who had even a small role. I would like to see more of the character Saw Gerrera, who was apparently in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels.
I heard afterwards actually that he's
quite a menacing.
He's a fan favourite sort of character, isn't he?
He was amazing. I really enjoyed that.
Do you know what? Right, great performance.
But I wish I
didn't know why I was supposed to care about him.
Well, it'd be nice to see more of his time with Jin as a younger.
Yeah, because they do this horrible moment where like you've seen early in the film, he's the one that opens up the hatch and says to
"Come, child."
Yeah, it says to her, "Come, we've got a journey" or something. And then later on, when she meets him, like we've seen him torture some guy, the pilot. We've seen him torture him. And then when she meets him, was like there's this really melancholy, sad music that comes over as they start having a conversation, especially when he stays behind. Like we're supposed to care about him. I'm like, I don't know if this guy's a dick. I don't know if he's a good guy. Like, was he really nice to her? Or was he really horrible to her as she was growing up?
I was sad because it was Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah. So the big elephant in the room as well. The one character we haven't talked about yet. Darth Vader.
That scene in the dark at the end, zoom, with the lightsaber, like Force Awakens, it adds its own light. Because I remember you said that before. The lightsabers in Force Awakens add their own kind of light to the film. Same as this, it lights up as Darth Vader. It's the voice, it's the breathing, then a lightsaber, then fucking hell, he rips the shreds out of them. And it's nice how we see how in the prequels, Anakin's lightsaber style was quite agile and fluent, and it was quite aggressive as well because he's dark side. But then it's got the Darth Vader lightsaber styles from. He's more composed. He's more powerful. He's less quick but more powerful from the later series. And yet he's got shit like the Force choke that he's just, again, Battlefront reminiscent when you're playing Darth Vader.
He just tears through a corridor full of people.
Easily, like slicing butter with a warm knife, is that the phrase?
Like slicing through butter with a warm knife.
So, thank you. That wasn't meant to be a thing. No, that's just bad. Sorry. And it was amazing. It was really, that is one of the most menacing I've ever probably seen, Darth Vader.
Yeah. I'm not so fond of his earlier scene.
Oh, God.
It was great seeing him in the tank, the bath thing.
Yeah.
But later on, when like he force chokes the guy in white, I can't remember his name, the director.
The director, yeah. And what does he say?
He turns around and says something like,
"Be careful not to choke on your aspirations."
Oh my God.
And I was just like, oh.
So bad. I'm sorry. That's a really cheesy. That's
probably the worst line.
We've never heard a pun from Darth Vader before.
No, that was bad.
It was bad. Pretty bad.
I think that was Disney getting in there. I don't think that was Gareth Edwards.
So bad. Whoever wrote it.
Awfully bad.
Gary Whitta.
Cool.
One of the writers.
Thanks, Gary Whitta. You did a cracking job besides that line, so thanks.
I'm sure someone else wrote bits of it as well.
Yeah, there was two co-writers. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I don't have your names down my notes. Another couple of bad points, just quickly before we draw back in Darth Vader, because I think it was one of the best things about this film, was the Martian-esque lower thirds at the start. I liked it in Star Wars. He just went to a planet, he didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't, it kind of took me, probably because we reviewed it and this wanker's ruined it for me. Whenever I see a lower third now, I was hoping my lower third would be there.
It's off screen, do it again. Still off screen.
Oh, yeah. You got to put it there now, otherwise I'm going to look like a complete tosser.
You look like a tosser anyway.
Yeah, true.
No, I agree. I think it's made more prominent by the fact that at the beginning we're jumping around planets so fast.
Like Spectre.
So many planets we visit.
Like Spectre, isn't it? You know, one place and the other, we go there, and all these characters. It'd be nice if they're doing that a bit more slower and yet hastened up the whole first act. That would be like, it's weird, but yeah, it would be nice to do that. And the other bad part was, it was just a hint of romance, really, I mentioned. So there wasn't many bad parts at all. And you said Leia's CGI, but I quite liked it. It was like, ooh, moment. So going back to Darth Vader, there was I liked how little use of him was in the film, and yet how amazingly he took on this film. Like, you see from this film how much Vader is like the kind of the last resort, the one to wipe up all of like the crap sort of thing. Like, they've got to get everyone else to sort it. Like, the Death Star is second only to Vader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's all right, Vader's got the thing. And you just see Vader coming in a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, he says,
and kick ass.
Vader's going to handle the fleet.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're all about to go into hyperspace.
Yeah.
And he comes up in front of them and they'll just smash into the Star Destroyer.
That's insane. And he's
So
got a
good.
bigger Star Destroyer, which eclipses the normal Star Destroyers as well. Which, again, I wish I'd love to see that in scale.
This is what's great about it. Like, it wasn't until that ending. It wasn't until we saw the blockade runner from the beginning of New Hope drop out that I was like, oh my God, they're going to tie this into the beginning of A New Hope. So, like, it was great seeing all that sort of stuff kind of come out of nowhere.
It was nice to see James Earl Jones do the voice of Darth Vader again. I loved that.
Yeah.
But it was credit to whoever did Darth Vader. There was a guy, and I can't remember. It was a bit of shame there was no David Prowse doing it because he was really good at acting as Darth Vader.
Yeah, it's
fair enough. He might have said any old line because he got pissed off that his voice wasn't getting used. It'd be like, "You go and clean the dishes."
You might have put an end to that choke on your ambitions line.
Oh God, I hope so. Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, it was nice to see James Earl Jones and of course it was nice to see the Grand Moff Tarkin.
It was the best thing about this film I can say is they finally let somebody play in the Star Wars universe without having to adhere to the Star Wars editing style, without having to adhere to the Star Wars soundtrack inherently, without having to adhere to the Star Wars look. This
is a film for non-Star Wars fans, and yet I think it's like The Force Awakens we were mentioning in that review, how can you watch it as a new someone getting the franchise? I reckon you could potentially watch.
You absolutely can.
Rogue One.
There's certain things which don't hold as much weight. The ending doesn't hold as much weight. You'd be like, who's this random CGI rubber woman at the end?
You would watch Star Wars Rogue One, then immediately a new fan would then watch which is really interesting. If you said a new Star Wars fan, go and watch the original trilogy, you would. You wouldn't say, go and watch Rogue One, then the original trilogy, but then they would still get that same payoff. You could watch a Rogue One, and then, right, okay, let's just say some guy's gone to the cinema, it's just like, oh, Star Wars is on that Rogue One, it's supposed to be quite good, I'm going to go watch that. Oh, that was a really good film, that Darth Vader is quite a big character. I know a lot of people in life going about Darth Vader. Do you know what? I actually might watch the original trilogy. Oh, shit, it starts off straight away. Wow, this is really good. And the end trilogy, wow, this is really good. Let's watch Force Awakens. Let's ignore the prequels. Actually, no, watch Phantom Menace.
Question for you. If you watched Rogue One first, like you've never seen Star Wars, you watched Rogue One first, would you then think Darth Vader was silly in A New Hope? Because he's nowhere near as badass as he is in this.
I don't know.
He's subtle.
I can't say I don't have that experience. I can't say at all. I honestly can't say it. I'd like to think that people still enjoy Darth Vader because he's a mate. And then obviously you got the Empire Strikes Back. You got that, but yeah. So whether you're a Star Wars fan or non-Star Wars fan, please watch it and watch it again. And I think you'd agree with me.
Like I said, it's definitely got problems. You might struggle in the first 2/3 of the film. I'm kind of looking forward to watching it again because I do think the second watching of this is probably going to be better than the first one.
You know what someone said? I read online, and I think you'll enjoy this because I know it's your favourite. It said Star Wars Reach.
Star Wars Reach?
Yeah. Like
Halo Reach?
Yeah. You know how one by one they all die? I thought that was really cool. They've got to get caught on it to Master Chief.
Yeah.
And it's like handling the plans.
It's a really good call.
Yeah,
I love Halo Reach.
I know, Halo Reach is a brilliant game. And at the end, it's just fighting. So Star Wars Reach. But please, watch it. Rogue One. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely do. And then do let us know in the comments below what you thought of it. Or you can hit us up on Twitter. And then we'll be back as for our normal, regular scheduled film club this week. So we'll see you all on Thursday at 12 o'clock.
Hi.
Thank you very much for watching.
Oh, shit.
Bye.
Bye.